Hi you guys, good afternoon. It is that special time again. It is time for Texas Wig Fairy with Aderans Global, René Paris. I want to thank you guys for joining us again today. Today I am super excited to be sharing with you some really valuable practical information about some of our different coloring. But before I do that, I want to just remind you to make sure that you join us every week on Instagram. Make sure that you are following us on Instagram. Go to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Hit the notification button so you'll be in the know, because we have so many amazing guests that we're going to have here on out. So many super fabulous guests. If you saw me last week, you met Catherine, Atypical 60. And I want you to know that a lot of the looks that I'm going to be showing today were inspired by something that she said. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today. Time flies, so I'm going to get started. But before I do that, I want to remind you, I'm going to show you just a snippet today in the event that you haven't been to reneparis.com. I want to just remind you, it's a beautiful website. It is full of information, all our catalogs, all our colors, and don't forget that you can always enter your zip code if you want. It's like a locator. So if you're looking for someone, especially right now, because I know at times it's a little difficult to find someone to help you. But as your wig mentor, your wig fairy, I have to tell you these things, and you can find everything you need at reneparis.com. So today we are talking about roots. We're talking about coloring. We're talking about LR and R. I have a lot of people that ask me, Danny, what does the R stand for, or what does LR mean? So today we're going to go over that, and for that reason I wore this particular piece to show you skin coloring has a lot to do with the choices you make in color, but I'm going to pretty much pick any color I want. This is a beautiful piece that is a custom order. But I want you to just see, looking at me, I love it. Looks really nice. The colors, lavender, it's great. But if you knew my natural color in my bio hair, you would know, as a hairstylist, you would know it'd be very, very difficult to bring it to this level, to color it to this color without it having any kind of, let me just show you, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about roots. And I say roots with lack of a better explanation. In just a minute I'll go more into detail. But I want to add a little bit more dimension. I want to see a little bit more, I want it to look more natural. And every time that you're looking for, anytime that you're looking for a style, I always get the question, are all your wigs terribly expensive? No, they're not. They're from René Paris. They're from Aderans. We have luxury that's affordable. So if you're wanting something that's very affordable, but you want it to look really natural, you like the volume, the permatease in there, you can always pick a color with a little bit of gradient here. When we first introduced these colors, it was in the early 2000s, and I'm almost positive, I just know we were world leaders in introducing these colorings at Aderans Japan. I can get you specific dates, but I know it's been in the early 20s. So we were the first, pretty sure we're the first ones with that beautiful coloring. So I'm going to show you. Take a close look. This is Reese in lavender. And again, I'm looking here, and a lot of people don't really pay attention, but I just want you to see the difference when you pick something that's rooted, what a difference it makes in the way it looks. It adds dimension, and it just looks more natural, even if it's a machine-made piece. Okay, so this is Scorpio. This is what we call rooting gradient when we first introduced it. So this is just a regular root, and when I say that, there's a long root and there's a rooted color. So look how much more natural this looks, and this doesn't have lace front. It doesn't have partial mono here. This is just a rooted color, so it adds dimension. Tell me if you think it looks much more natural on my skin tone with the rooting. And again, this is just the regular root. So I'm going to show you in another piece, we're going to go through just the basic rooting colors, and then I'll transition into long root. But I just want you to see the difference in how natural this looks without it having to be a monofilament or lace front or partial mono. And all those features are beautiful features, but I'm just trying to show you the difference in the event that you're choosing something machine made and you just feel like you want more depth, more dimension for it to look more natural. Okay, so I'm going to go to Mason in a creamy blonde, and this is not a color that I would pick for myself, so please keep that in mind. I'm just showing for demonstration to show you the difference that a rooting really makes. Okay, so this is Mason in a blonde. Boy, you can see my eyebrows with this one. Okay, so this is Mason, no root, and then I'm going to put Mason with the root so you can see the difference. See how much more natural this looks? Even if I were to have my hair colored to this level in a salon, and keep in mind that there's so many styles always that are released, and they're salon inspired colors, and we set the trend. I don't know if you've noticed that, but we're around Wigs all the time, and we actually set the trends much more advanced than when they hit the salon. Okay, so that's just my opinion. Okay, so this is Mason rooted. This is champagne. This is champagne R. Excuse me. And with that being said, I just want to remind you, for those of you that are new to Wigs, new to our Wigs, or maybe you've never had anything rooted. It does make a big difference. Thank you for saying that. I mean, you can definitely see the difference in this piece and the first piece. And this would be believable. If I had short hair, I went into the salon and had it done this color, this is much more believable with the rooting. So this is a basic rooted color. So when you're going through our website and you're looking for a new color, a new look, you're going to be looking for a color with an R at the end of it, meaning that it's a rooted color. And there's obviously colors that are not going to have a root, like our brunettes. Some of them rooting the color wouldn't be necessary. Gradient, we used to call them gradient colors back when they first came out. So you might see that on some of our older catalogs. Okay, so next I'm going to show you another basic rooted color from one of our more affordable lines. Okay, so this is Serena in Shadowed Custard. Okay, again, this is just, as you can see, if I were to pull it back, pull it up on the sides here, if some of my baby hair were to fall, if it were to move, it still would look very, very natural. If I pulled it back in a braid, pulled it up like this, even if some of my hair were to fall here, my bio hair, I wouldn't panic because I've got the root here, so it's much more natural looking. Okay, so again, this is an affordable option in a rooted color. Again, this is from our Orchid Collection. This is Serena in Shaded Custard. This is from our newest collection, 2020 Orchid Collection. Again, this is just a basic root. For those of you that have just joined, thank you for joining us. We are talking about roots today, rooted colors, gradient colors, and how a root adds more dimension, makes it look more natural. I know a lot of times back in the day we wanted the root to be gone. That's how we knew we had been to the salon. But let me tell you what, these are just multi-tonal rooted colors, beautiful colors from René Paris, the Amore line and the Noriko line. So the first pieces I was showing you are from the Noriko line. Now I'm going to show you a beautiful color. And I'm going to show you the difference in the same color in a regular root and a long root. Okay, so first I'm going to show you Jackson in Creamy Toffee R, meaning just a regular rooted color. Then I'll introduce you to a long root. If you're not familiar with the long root from René Paris or Noriko or Amore, okay, so this is Creamy Toffee R. This is a beautiful style. If you've never had this, this is one of our classics. Again, this is Jackson in Creamy Toffee R. See here, I would just blend some of my baby hair here. Looks very, very natural with the root up here. So if I were to pull it, even if I were to create a little bit of baby hair here and pull it back, it looks very, very, very natural because it looks like it's my own bio hair. My own bio hair is blended in there, and it helps make it look that more natural. Okay, so this piece is, okay, so Denise loves Creamy Toffee R. This is her favorite color. Thank you, Denise. Yes, roots make all the difference. Thank you guys for giving your input, because they do make a big difference. Again, this is machine made. Okay, look how natural this looks. Of course, I would still personalize this a little bit, maybe trim the bang a little bit, but look how natural the rooting makes this piece look. Roots, long roots, gradient. Okay, so pay close attention. If you're not familiar with this color, this is Creamy Toffee R. Now I'm going to show you a long root. And in the shorter piece, it appears, of course, different than it would in a long piece. So I'm going to start off with Creamy Toffee LR in Ray. I wasn't really sure, but I love this color on my skin tone. Okay, so this is a long root. And please remember that in all the three lines, in all the different lines here at Aderans, the long root in different colors is going to look it's going to vary a little bit because of the foundations and the way the hair is placed into the foundation. But this is Ray. This is long root. So this is in a longer piece, or when you go into the salon, this is more like when you want an ombre look. Correct? Ombre. What does ombre mean? Well, in my world it means hombre. Ombre. What does it mean? To me it means something entirely different. It's a French word. Ombre. Okay, so this is coloring. It's the color application in the salon, and so this is giving that effect. Look how beautiful this color is, but the root is much longer. Beautiful piece. So this is Ray. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so this is Creamy Toffee LR. A whole different look than Creamy Toffee R. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one of our rooted colors. Good afternoon, you guys. Thank you for joining. For those of you that are just joining, we are going over rooted colors. Okay, so this is Shiloh in Almond Spice R. Okay, so you can see this is multi tones here. Beautiful color. I hope you can, by now you can tell the difference in just a rooted color and a long root. Don't forget that when you're wearing a piece like this, this is monofilament, so you can part it in the middle as well. Might as well just show you that while we're here. But notice how the rooting just makes such a big difference. And again, not everyone is going to choose a color with the root, and that I totally understand that. But if you're looking for something that looks a little bit more natural in a machine-made piece, this is definitely one of the options that I would suggest. Okay, what roots should people with total hair loss pick who don't have eyebrows to match? Okay, first of all, I would definitely, there are colors that are going to have the roots that are a little bit softer. Some of the pieces in the René Paris line. Let me see if I have anything here. Good question. You can always, when you're doing your brows, you can always do a little, instead of doing really dark, I never suggest really dark. Say for instance our rooting is a little bit darker, almost a little bit darker than chocolate. When you're doing your brows, of course, you never want to do anything dark. You never want to do, whether it's pomade or anything like that, you want to do something that's a little bit more chocolatey to kind of blend. There are colors that are going to be a little bit softer. Let me think of some of the, okay, say for instance, let me show you, this is Creamy Toffee R. This would definitely be something that I would suggest for someone who may have total hair loss that's looking for something a little bit softer than this type of root. If you can see it's kind of hard to see the difference here, but if you can see this rooting is a lot darker than, say for instance, this piece. This is a softer brown. This would be a good suggestion. And then it also depends on style, the style that you're looking for. Not all styles are going to be available in rooted colors, and I'll show you that on the website because I was really excited about that. That's something, a feature on our website that not all color locators have. Let me show you a long root in Angelica. Angelica is one of our favorite pieces. For those of you that are familiar with Angelica, if you've never tried a long root in Angelica, this is Mochaccino LR. This is an absolute must-have color. It's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful color. Okay, so this is Angelica in a long root. I don't know if you can look at this color. It just adds dimension. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. Again, this is long root. So when you're looking at a color on the color locator, looking for a new look, the LR after that color is going to specify a long root in the color. Going back to the question earlier, when you go to reneapparris.com, you're looking for a new look. I want to show you this because this is a great feature. Let me see if I can do this really quick. Okay, so when you go to reneapparris.com, up at the upper right, it says find your next look. And I have to show you this because not all locators do this. It says select by color. And you can scroll down and you can find LR or R colors. Let me just show you. This is really exciting because it's difficult sometimes to find specific styles in certain colors. So when you go down to Raspberry Ice LR, it's actually going to show you all the styles that are available in the LR color, which is great. So I kid you not, take the time to go to reneapparris.com, find your next look, find your next color, scroll down, look for the color that you're looking for in LR or R, and it's going to show you everything that's available. I wanted to show you, so Angelica is usually parts on the side. It doesn't have a partial mono, so a lot of times you're hesitant to move the part to the middle. But look how great that looks either way. This is part of I just moved it to the middle. No one would know this is happening, but because it has the long root there, I'm going to just drop some of my bio hair. And look how nice this piece looks. Okay, this is Angelica in Mochaccino LR. Okay, so for those of you that have just joined, I'm going to go back to the very first style because I think it's worth doing. For those of you that have just joined, we are talking about rooted colors and long roots. I'm going to go back to the first style so those of you that have just joined can see the difference. Again, this is a long rooted color. And then I'm going to show you a regular rooted color. Okay, so just to show you the difference, in root and no root. Okay, this is our no root look. I did this one first, but for those of you that have just joined, so you can see the definite difference in what a difference a root makes. Okay, so this is Mason with no root. And if you haven't been to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe and follow us. Take a look at her. Take a look at me, how it looks on me. And then let's try her on with the root. So you can see how much better on my skin tone this looks. So what do you think? Root, long root? Okay, so before we finish today, I definitely wanted to show you from our most affordable line. I wanted to show you a rooted color as well. And I also want to mention, please make sure that you subscribe and follow on Instagram so that when my social media family, Abby and Alexander, go live, you can see their fabulous streams because they just have so much valuable information. Okay, from our most affordable line, I am going to show you from the Muse line. From our Muse line, I want to show you Breezy. Okay, so this is Dusty Rose. In a rooted color. So a lot of times people think the assumption is that rooting is going to be more expensive. Okay, so this is from our Muse line. Okay, so this is a softer root here. This is a regular root. This is Breezy in Dusty Rose in a rooted color. So what do you think? What's your favorite? If you've never tried rooting before, what would you try in your next selection? A root or a long root? And before I finish today, I also want to remind you that in our additions, like in our toppers, we also carry a long root in some of our pieces. This is the Ivana TP, but I just want you to see the coloring on this. This is Creamy Toffee LR. Just in case you're not, this is inspired by our beautiful look, the full piece Ivana. This is an Ivana TP. So I know a lot of people were not familiar or didn't know that we also had a long rooted color in some of our toppers. So please keep in mind when you're making a selection, again, if you haven't had the opportunity to go to reneaparis.com, please make sure that you do so. It's very, very valuable information. If you're looking for your next look and you need some kind of help doing that, please go up to the upper right. Again, there's a spot where you kind of click on the button for your next look. You can choose a color in rooted or long rooted, and it's going to show you all the different styles available in that particular color, which is a great feature as far as locating the color. Please keep in mind that we will have many guests in the coming weeks. So again, I know I said it a couple times already, but it just helps to repeat it because I'm just so excited of all the different guests that we're going to have. Super excited to meet a friend of mine, Susie, next week on Monday. So please keep in mind, again, follow us on Instagram. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button so you'll know when we're going live. And I hope I left you with some practical but very useful information about rooting, long roots and regular roots, because it really does make a big difference. And we have so many beautiful styles. I know that I was sharing some of these styles and colors with the girls on my team at our salon, and they were just really surprised. A lot of times we think we know everything that's available, but this is why it's so important to do this. See you guys next week. Bye.